Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to have a new group of upcoming young people here, and I am very happy because this is my own institute, and I was waiting for such a wonderful occasion where I could take my own students here because many a times when we go for discussions and making the policies, we see that we are always with the seniors. People who are wise, people who've been into the education system for long. But I have keen interest always to take the voice of those who are actually into it. And it's a great pleasure to have you all here. I'm very happy that you've taken out your time and come for this occasion. I would want you to please introduce yourself so that we all get to know who you are and what you've been doing. What is it that your plans are before we proceed?
So, good morning everyone. My name is Garvit. I am truly honored to be part of this discussion with Dr. Suchitra Bhattacharya today. And like many of my peers, I recently completed my board examinations and I'm waiting for the results with anticipation. And as we look ahead in the next chapter, I am particularly excited about beginning my college journey soon. And beyond academics, I love to paint and I like about financial literacy and personal management books, and I'm equally eager to listen and learn from this enriching conversation today.
Oh, great. I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful session with all these young, vibrant thoughts that we have gathered here for. Yeah, could you just give a short introduction of yourself?
Greetings everyone, I am Vanshika Malik and I have just finished my class 12 board exam and I am preparing for ISET aptitude test, aiming to pursue data science as a career option. So all in all, I am staying optimistic and hoping that everything turns out well.
I wish you all the best, and it's such a wonderful dream of yours. I am sure we are going to learn quite a bit, and once you join your dream college, do get back to us to tell your stories, right? Yes.
Good morning everyone, my name is Raghav and I am a recent school graduate from Science Lagar, and I am currently in a situation for exploring new opportunities and exploring beyond academics. This is indeed a very good time for transition and growth, and I am eagerly looking forward to today's conversation for learning and sharing something.
That's wonderful. I think we all are waiting eagerly to listen to each other. Well, you've spent so many years in the school, right? And I'm sure with various experiences that you had, ultimately when you came up to class, senior school, high school, I would say, beside the academics, I think there was a bigger role that played in your life was, are you being guided well by your mentors for the next step? So in that case, if we say as for CBSE or any school leaving course in India, however, we see CBSE being the most prominent board here. What do you think, Mr. Raghav? Do you think that the school curriculum is actually preparing you for the next, that's college entry, was a requirement to the colleges? Are we really being able to guide the students in the best possible manner so that they can put their next step to a college life or maybe later after college in a perfect manner? If you could just throw a little light on that.
Let's put up a situation for this question. Likewise, I have an interest in designing. Let's suppose I have a toolkit, and when I reach a construction site and I start working on the process, I realize that I'm missing half of the tools. But that realization actually comes when I begin the process. That is what happens when a student transitions from school to college. The realizing part that the school has been spoon-feeding students with a lot of things, like reminding them of the upcoming test or keeping.
Basically, you want to say that there is a thing which is very stereotyped, which has been happening since many years, and that is what is actually not required in today's scenario.
Yes, ma'am. Likewise, the school curriculum focuses on tests and results, like rote learning for an exam, and from after the result for getting the details. Likewise, learning 100 elements of the periodic table does not actually mean that you can write 100 words about them. So like, if we are gaining some knowledge, we can only remember it if we learn how to apply it in real life.
See, Raghav, you very explicitly said that the school curriculum is based on assessment. So this particular assessment you feel is not the way it should be. In fact, do you have anything in mind, like what sort of assessment should it be when you talk of the school curriculum and ensuring that the child is actually gaining knowledge and just not rote learning the subjects?
So as we all know that every child has a different perspective, and I believe that each of child has a different aptitude towards learning. So in the schools we have a particular hierarchy like the periodic tests, the annuals, the half yearlies and all that system. But I believe to test the true knowledge of a child, the interaction with the teacher is what matters the most.
Okay.
One-on-one discussions in class and the surprise test, that is what actually tests what a student is thinking, learning and how he is applying.
So basically, it shouldn't be more of this paper pen test. It should be more of a regular basis, but not the way we do. We have a timetable, a date sheet. It should be a everlasting process throughout the year. Is that what you mean?
Definitely. Like a college curriculum is based on research, critical thinking and deep analysis about every topic. So in schools what we are focusing on is tests and results. Like we are learning for a test but we are not learning to gain something out of it. But in college, let's suppose I have to write a thesis of my own for a research I am doing, let's say 10 years from now. But in school I have just learned how to write about the things I have studied. About the thesis of my own, I need to know the details of each and everything of my subject and I need to create it my forte so that I can actually write and think or explain about it.
It's more of do and learn than of learn and write. Is it that you want? And what I could conclude is whatever a little bit you have expressed is it should be more project based, more of experiential learning rather than bookish knowledge, right? Anything else that you would want to say, because we have a few more members here to express, we can come back to you.
Just small skills like time management, budgeting and setting priorities. Because in college, certainly you are exposed to such a vast amount of independence, most of the students can't deal with it. Because telling from my experience, like I am an introvert, so like facing a huge amount of exposure all at once, it is a little difficult to handle it. And I have been so much engrossed in books from recent 2 years that I have hardly focused on like socializing or meeting new friends.
It's a wonderful thing that you have expressed, and I think we, the educators, need to give a thought to it. That these 2 years, what you have mentioned, the precious time of your life, you were unable to do anything but to only focus on the curriculum and the books, and I'm sure it must not have been a very, very wonderful journey. It was a time full of tension and of course learning, so that you are preparing yourself for the next. So that was amazing. You really pointed out very clearly on how we should change our thought processes regarding the curriculum and the way of our teaching. We'll get back to you, but before I proceed for the next, I would want Vanshika to express what do you think about the school curriculum? You just finished your class 12, right? And you've been, as much as I know, bright student. So which shows that you've been too sincere with your work. So if I ask you the question on the curriculum that you have done in these 2 years, is it the curriculum that this generation is wanting? Because you see, time has changed. And of course, if we talk of the Indian education system, it has been from the Gurukul, it has been really been very, very good, and many countries have adopted. However, with the change of time, did we evolve the way we should have, or the way the children should be getting it? So, a fresh mind, if you could update on this curriculum is class, high school, I would say.
Sure, ma'am. First of all, a very good morning to you, ma'am, and my panel members. And we know that the school curriculum is designed to provide us with essential knowledge that we need for the future. And as students, we spend a huge time sitting in classroom. Subjects like history, geography, literature, science, maths, and so on, which are often called fundamentals and are the part of the same. But being honest, many high schoolers think that the curriculum is more focused towards marks and memorization, while others, including myself, feel that there are certain subjects that do not match with our personal interest or with our future needs. So, just I want the subjects like data science or practical skills like coding can be included in it, so that it will cope up with today's world, because they're being very important. And for instance, take maths as an example. How many of us have sat wondering what on the earth is X? Is it a secret code to success? Or are we solving equation just because someone somewhere long ago thought that it was a good idea? What I mean is, let's be real. Where are the real life skills that we need? It's not just about maths, but from algebra to Shakespeare, we hardly find the relevance in real world. So, but being fair, it's not absolutely wrong. Some teachers make the curriculum more interesting, they make it meaningful and engaging and fun. So, that's all.
Yeah, Vanshika, I think quiet child had so much to say. I'm sure when your teachers listen to it, they will also be surprised. Of course, you did not want to say anything for a teacher or against a teacher, but you had a very clear, generic thought process. If I talk of the coding or the AI, you know what, CBSE has an option, but there are many schools. You need to give a variation to each and every child, but then because of the infrastructure, because of the logistics, because of the availability of the faculty, there are certain restrictions. However, from today's point of view, I mean from the discussion that we are having now, I feel that every educator now should give a thought that maths may not be included, but AI and coding, which is the need of the hour, should be a part of the curriculum. And very well said, be it Shakespeare, be it mathematics, I think we need to think of the interest of the children. Because the moment you show interest, it is automatically learned. Like the way he was saying, what is it that we need to teach our children? Is it that the periodic table, as you have mentioned, or the X factor of maths? It is the interest that needs to be taken care of, right?
It would be nice if the students are given a subject on their personal interest and regarding their future goals. And also the pressure to be successful in every subject can be exhausting. I mean, we are not robots, we are just human beings with different doubts, with different dreams, and way too much homework. The world outside is changing very faster than ever, we all know. So shouldn't our education change too? Our curriculum needs a change too. Moreover, students don't want less education, but they want smarter education. As the saying goes, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach him to fish, you feed him for the lifetime.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So maybe it's time that when we are taught to how to fish our good life ahead, our opportunities, our happiness. So That's all. And in the end, I would like to say we don't want a curriculum that is focused on exam preparation, because after all, we need to be prepared for our life, as we also know that life doesn't come with an answer sheet, neither school should.
I could think that she could speak so well. She was such a quiet child in school, so disciplined, yet she had so much. I think this is something which is very important. Like to some extent, you had a match. Our process is to teach children for life, to teach everyone to know how to fish rather than giving a ready-made fish. So that is a different way of putting together. The thought process was very similar. But yes, we have lots to learn from this particular generation. Very well said. I will come back to you. Before that, let me see what Garvit has to tell us regarding. I would just more or less want a different viewpoint from your point of view. How is it, do you think, the school curriculum is preparing you for life? Life in the sense we want you to be comfortable in the college. Is it that these 2 years of high school, is it enough to ensure that you are placed well in a good school, good college, which is good for you, not good for the parents or the teacher? Good is very relative. So, do you think we at high school level we are preparing the children for rightly in the correct direction to ensure that you are properly placed for higher education? Over to you, Garvit.
Yes, ma'am. Whether or not schools are preparing us, students, for the college requirements is a question that many of us ask ourselves. And in day-to-day life, we are actually struggling with it because the school provides very less info what we are going to use in future, like critical thinking abilities, and there are multitasking abilities. You have to have leadership qualities in yourself that so that you can work upon yourself and make as a group of yourself and move ahead in college or even the real world. It is very necessary for us. After that, likewise, Vanshika said, our panel member, that most of the schools still place an excessive amount of emphasis on the memorization content and not actually on the practical application. So it needs to be changed, and it's like a stuck mind.
So, you see, I think what we do not realize is, though there are lots of changes happening after the NEP, the National Education Policy of India 2020, the basic emphasis is not on rote learning. However, the traditional curriculum that we have, that has not changed much. The methodology that is being used, of course, these trainings that are given to the teachers, we are teaching our teaching faculty to unlearn the traditional method and to learn the new way of teaching, but still the basic emphasis is on rote learning. And what do a little bit you say? I am amazed that at this age you are paying so much of importance on life skill. We talk of it, however, there are 1 or 2 sessions given when we talk of senior classes, because we feel the syllabus has to be completed, the assessments will have to be done, so that we ensure that the children are prepared. However, the preparation is equally important to ensure that these life skill leadership qualities, as you had said, financial literacy, you have mentioned, how to cope up with a new scenario where you are left independently to go ahead. I think that's something which we really need to think about. Else, any other point that you thought of mentioning? Because this is a platform where we really want to listen to your voice. So by chance you have some other points, would you want to elaborate a little on it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Like Mr. Raghav said, we are still judged mainly on exams, and we are not actually judged on how our thinking ability or how our problem solving ability is. And we still, like some of the peers, still it's not ashamed to say about, but they still criticize us that so less marks you got, and it's no up to no good, you won't survive in the future, and it will be difficult for you to cope up. I don't think that it matters at all. It matters a very small percentage in your life or in your basically school curriculum, but as a major, when you look the life as a whole, it shouldn't affect you and your personality just by the marks, and you should have the traits that can overcome the marks, the stuck mindset that more marks is a good student and intelligent student. It should not be like that.
So basically, what I would say, not conclude, of course we are in the mid-session, but what you lay emphasis on the elders a little judgmental on the assessment part, and we categorize a good student if he gets good marks, and not a good student when the child is not, or the student is not getting, which I think, would you throw a thing on this, like, it must have been very disturbing to you, Raghav, when you sometimes did not score well, as you said. It was not easy to keep the same pace throughout 2 years, that constant assessment. It did affect you mentally, which later on hampered many other activities of yours or spoiled a couple of days.
So I would like to talk about the fear of performance. Likewise, I have been among the group of rankers from class 2nd or 3rd. And let's just talk about my situation. For example, in 10th, I liked maths a lot. And I used to sit idle and solve sums, and I was very good in it. Throughout the schools in casual tests and periodic tests and half yearlies, I always scored the top marks. And suddenly in boards, I could not perform. Let's say because the fear of performance, the phobia, the environment or whatever, I was just not comfortable. Scoring 90 above was out of the question. I barely passed the exam. And these days, passing the exam and scoring the top marks, it is a completely different situation. For example, in the early 21st century, scoring 80% was an accomplishment for most of the students. And not anybody random could score 80%. These days, not the Aadhaar card, but the mark sheet is the identification card of the students. A 90% student is average, but a 95 scorer and above that is a top ranker student. He needs to get into MITs or IITs. But that is not how the curriculum should be. Some of the colleges, not all the colleges, who have private entrances, they focus more on not only the subjects, main domain subjects chosen by the students, but also the logical, aptitude and English part, which I think is very required for our curriculum and for the present situation. For getting into a stream or getting into an occupation or following your dreams or whatever you need to do, you need to have an overall development about the entire thing, not just the domain, but you also need to explore about what you need to, how you can improve it, or how you can implement it, or how you can execute.
So execution and implementation is something which actually is important. So it was nice to know that he's been a bright student throughout. Somehow your performance wasn't so good. I'm sure there is reason enough. That is the performance, this fear of performing. We really need to think over it as educators, that if the fear is developed, so the performance can never be good, and how we can stop it, or how we can, I would say, channelize this so that the fear factor goes off, because that's something which is very, with fear the performance goes down. It's a true example. But Raghav, I'm sure now that you have learned, I don't think you are really bothered about what others think, but you need to go ahead, and I can see a bright future. When you realize, when you realize drawback, you can work on it, and you've given us work also. Manchika, do you also feel that in the same manner that, because for you, the discussion that you had was really an emphasis on the curriculum. So, how is it that if you are given a set curriculum which is there in a school, and a curriculum which can be based on your own interest, do you think the performance goes up, or performance in the sense I wouldn't emphasis on now that you've given me enough room to think that performance in the result assessment should not be the first criteria he is comparing to the identification of a student. But basically performance in the sense to go ahead to, how would you think that these two, if it's about as per your choice or as per the school's choice, it would matter, and how would you progress ahead?
I would like to go with our own interest one, because first of all it will be of our interest, because where we are performing well, we can go ahead in that, and that is what will help us to enhance our performance as well, our self as well, and it will shape our personalities, because if we are bound to the school's curriculum, we say, because there are certain things, like if I'm weak in history or geography, I would not study them, but I have to because of the already set. If I have enrichment in other subject, maybe I can do much well than those. So it's all that it should be a balance, that even if the school want to implement the necessary things, they can, but in the least priority they can put into. It means like if I have interest in 5 subjects and there has to be 8 subjects, then the top 5 should be of our choice and rest can be of the school's choice, so that performance will literally enhance if we do that way.
Yeah, as I said, thinking of the availability of the faculty and the infrastructure, logistics, there should be some restrictions definitely, but it should be, as you said, as per the student's choice. Let's see after this discussion what I can implement in my institution, whether at least if not the full, if I can help out the student, because that's something very, very well expressed, Vanshika. I am very confident also after listening to you that if we give a choice to the children to perform, it automatically, the performance comes up. There need not be force behind it, right? How would you take the 2 points that has been discussed and give an affirmation on what you just expressed, that yes, the schools need to rethink on preparing the high schoolers so that they are comfortable, because we feel, if we finish off the lessons, if we finish the syllabus, so we are actually preparing you for college. But what you express is there are many more things. Of course, that's important. Without knowledge, you are not well prepared for going in for higher studies. But there are many more things that are that you wanted. So, in your tenure of these 2 years, let's be very honest, there wasn't much of such topics or such points that the educators gave importance to.
Yes, ma'am. I would firstly ask a question to Vanshika. And isn't it a burden that a school will provide us with 8 subjects? Some students still are not coping up with 5 subjects as not their choice. But do you think, Vanshika, that 5 subjects of our choice and other 3 of the school's choice, are we?
I think she meant giving the 8 and you choose the 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or whether it's not just about learning subjects, it can be of physical activity or any other such as music or
Oh,
dance.
he is a very good artist,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So that is also you can.
So how much do you enjoy your art, Garvit?
I love my art. I still do paint, and I'm exploring new mediums that I can paint with. Currently, I'm working with oil paints and acrylic paste, and it's been a wonderful journey. From I didn't knew much from the class 10th, and when I changed my school, the school curriculum changed and the school system changed. I got new teachers, new experienced teachers in that particular field, and within 2 years I was able to manage and sell my painting for approximately 25,000.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes, ma'am.
That's amazing. So somewhere down the line, your art teacher did play a good role.
Yes, ma'am. He played a very good role in my this art journey along with, and I still learn from him, and the life skills he provided me throughout the process, and it's been a very good journey.
So you are basically a science student?
No, I'm not a science student. I'm from humanities section, and I have subjects like history and geography.
Nothing to, you had interest in that always?
Yes, ma'am. I didn't have an interest. Rather, I would say I was planning in 10th that I choose commerce with maths, as I didn't like maths much, but it's like the society's pressure that was put on me that humanities is not a stream, poor mental thinking, and students choose it, and I was like, it's not real. I mean, let me prove my point. And I chose art stream, and I did manage to get good.
Amazing. I think that's quite a traditional thought process,
Yes,
that humanities section. In fact, these days, children from humanities are really doing well, very well. So I think what she has said is basically the interest of the child, and as and you expressed, not the assessment but the journey, how you perform. You were saying something very nice. He said, Raghav, you had mentioned that the teacher-student throughout the year interaction should be a process of assessment rather than just a paper pen. So I suppose that's what exactly. And tomorrow, if you become an artist, will you be selling your art to us, or will you be giving us free?
So I'm likewise, it's a saying that, can I use? Okay. So I would love to sell you the art, but it's not like I would sell it for free, because I've worked over the years and I've been hardworking, and even the materials I use, they cost too much.
Very nice, very professional. Huh?
And I just want to sell my art to the people who like it, who merge with the feeling that I've had when I was making the art.
Understands
Yes,
what
ma'am.
you put in, that is that brush and the paint.
The feeling the artist had when painting it, and the painting which had that feeling should interact directly with the customer. Or you can say they both have connection between us. That is why the customer purchases it and keeps it at his home, and when he looks at it, he remembers what feeling he had, what he is remembering at that time, and all that life he's been going.
Oh, that's like with the subjects like history and geography, and then coming up to art, which is his passion. I think that's amazing. You have proved that the stereotypes, what he was talking of, is cut off, and one can really have lots of subjects, but as said, if the subjects of interest is given, we can have amazing results. That's wonderful. I think this session has been good. Everyone gave such beautiful thoughts, and best part was, in spite of you talking to a senior who's been there throughout, you've been getting scared of, today you got the opportunity to express yourself wholeheartedly. Yes or no?
Yes.
And you enjoyed the session?
Yes, ma'am.
Because such moments are precious, where you can really bring out all that you had to say, with of course no malice, with deep respect for the institution, for the curriculum, for the teachers, but then yes, giving your thought out and giving us a work to rethink, unlearn, and try to be near the student both mentally and with the curriculum, right? That was amazing. I am sure it was a wonderful session. So now it's time for us to conclude. Vanshika, any conclusion that you would like to come talk to us about, like anything that you would want to say about this particular session? Because this is a session on Educast, which I have thought of is the voice of the teens or the voice of the high schoolers. so that we can work more on the development of the curriculum and ensure that we are more student friendly, we are more wanting to get closer to the success of the student, and success here, not the success of the assessments, getting 90%, but success to be happy, to be successful in achieving their dreams. If you could give a conclusion of the session, Vanshika.
To conclude, I would like to appreciate the chance to be a part of this discussion. Thank you, ma'am, and my panel members for hearing me out. And it was a wonderful session. So I would like to say that I hope that such conversations we will keep in future and will help a lot for hearing our voice. Thank you.
So you enjoyed the session, right?
Yes.
Because you've been always so disciplined, so quiet. It was amazing listening to you too. That this is important, to give a chance to come out, to bring out the inner feelings. Thank you. In fact, I would say thank you so much. You've been an amazing speaker. Garvit.
Yes, ma'am. I also would like to thank panel members and especially you, Dr. Suchitra Bhattacharya, for making this session very informative and enriching for us. And at last, I would confidently say that these sessions are where we learn and we put all the thought processes of ourselves and we reflect upon it. And later in life, actually these sessions later in life help us. By some of the thoughts, when we exchange them, we get reassuring ones. Some we get deeply thought-provoking ones, which we reflect upon in the future. And it's been an amazing session knowing all these ideas and all of these thought processes which other panel members have.
Great.
Thank you, ma'am. And the school, I think the school is doing their part at the best, but there's still room for improvement, and that can be done with the support of the teachers and ma'am like you.
Thank you. I am sure, in fact, your mother is also, both of your mothers are in the teaching profession. So I am very confident that with such discussions in this forum or at home amongst yourself, will definitely will be able to work further to ensure the young minds are satisfied. I won't say be satisfied, but yeah, to be happy and going ahead, right? Thank you. Raghav, a few sentences from you.
I just remembered while Garvit was speaking, like I'm a huge fan of H.C. Verma sir. I love listening to him. So in a recent interview, someone asked him like, sir, who did more, you or Newton? He replied that Newton provided us with calculus, maths and a lot of knowledge. But I was the one who spread it among the people. He asked the interviewer, you tell me, what is more good? Giving somebody this knowledge or like spreading it to everyone? Like you need to be a master to learn what Newton taught us, but you can be a layman to understand Sir's language, H.C. Verma Sir's language. And my point throughout this session was not to criticize any institution or organization or the curriculum in fact, but the times are changing and there is always room for growth. Throughout these years, school life has laid a foundation for who I am today, and I am deeply grateful for that. And thank you for having me here today. It was a lovely experience, and I hope we can have such sessions in the future as well.
Very nice. His conclusion was, I like your point, the giving a fish and teaching how to fish. I think someone giving it to us and someone helping everyone else to know has a similar thought process. So it has been amazing. Listen, I wish we could continue the discussion, stretch out the discussion for a longer duration, but I will wait again to sit together with people like you, listen to you more and get ideas from you. Thank you very much for joining Educast session, I would say session 3. It's been really nice. to have you all here, such smart, so very focused and so very clear about what's ahead. I think that's what is amazing. So this clarity will really take you far ahead, and wish you all the best in the upcoming entrances that you're going to face, the interviews that you're going to take, and I am very confident that all of you will do very, very well. God bless you all.